Hello everyone. In the previous video, we have started studying about the introduction to Yang. Yang is a data modeling language. As we all know, every language or every computer language must have declared some data types. Let's say it's a integer, it's a float, it's a string, and all those things. Irrespective of all the programming language, Yang also have some base data type. So let us study about those things. So all the Yang elements, it must have a data type, and those data types are actually divided into two categories. That may be a base data type or a derived data type. Base stands for it was inbuilt data type such as integer, float, a string, and all those things. And if you derive some data type from the existing data type, that could be called as derived type. Those derived data type again classified into two types. It may be a simple type or a grouping type. That means the derived type either a simple type or a group of some simple types, that is called grouping. We have more than 20 base types we need to study with. So let's say the integer 8 slash 16 slash 32 slash 64, this the in the right side column it was saying that integer 8, 16, 32 or 64. The 8, 16, 32 or 64 represent the bit size or bit length. So those are if you say int 8, that means it will take an integer whose binary value, number of binary value or number of binary digits would be 8. Then if integer is 16, then it may take a integer whose binary numbers, total binary numbers will be 16s. Then uint, that is called unsigned integer. Then decimal 64, it is a non-integer system, and a decimal value, that means it's a floating point value, 164 bit decimal value. Then it going for string will be a Unicode string. Okay, then enumeration, that is a set of alternative data types. Then we have boolean function or boolean data type, that is true or false. Then we have bytes, that is called boolean array. Then we have binary. Binary means binary, BLOB. BL stands for binary long objects. Then leaf reference, LEAF, REF, leaf reference. It consists of reference of a pointer. Then identity reference, it will be unique identity. And we have more and we have empty, that means it's a void statement or no, it don't have any value. Likewise, we are having more than 20 base types, and which is actually used to configure the IoT systems using Yang. Okay, let us get some examples of Yang statements, such as let us consider you are calculating the percentage of a student, and percentage will be a value in between 0 and 100. That is why if you define a type, what is that type definition? That will be a percentage. It's a definition type. Then after, it should be a 16-bit unsigned value. Okay, why 16-bit? Because if your decimal value starting from 0 to 100, if you convert it into binary value, then those numbers of binary value could not be saved in 8-bit. We should need 16-bit value. That is why you are using data type that is called UINT, unsigned integer 16, and range will be 0 to 100. It comes with 2 inverted comma. Then what will be the description? Description is a user or human readable language. Whatever you write inside the double inverted comma, starting with description, it actually comes your output at percentage, percentage. Whatever you write your name, you write your apple, then you write orange, whatever you write, it will comes in your output screen. That is why description is a human readable things. Okay, so why once you complete this description curly bracket, then we have called a leaf completed. So this leaf actually completed. So after you complete the leaf, it is called type percentage. Okay, so type percentage means it will give the output as a percentage value. So we have numbers of attributes for the leaf. Let us go for leaf configuration, that is called CONFIG configuration. Whether this leaf is configurable or operational, If configurable, that is true value, then operational means false. And if it is inherited from the parent container, if not specified. Okay, that means we have to configure a data types whether the data type is actually operational. That means once you configure the network connection or IoT system, and IoT system is working, once the IoT system is working, that is called operational type. Okay, if the IoT system is not working or taking a halt, that is called in that time you can configure the data, that is called configurable. Okay, if the system is halt, then it can be configurable, that is why the output will be called true. Okay, if the system is running, then it is operational, that is why it is going the false statement. And whether it is inherited from the parent container. Container means a box where you can put everything. Okay, so if that configuration is actually inherited, means the it actually comes from the main parent container or not, that should be specified. Okay, then we have some default thing. Default means whatever comes with original thing, that is called default. Okay, so when a child born, it comes with two hand, two leg, two eyes, one nose, mouth. Those are default thing. After that, we actually gave them dresses, we gave them watches, shoes, everything. That is called installation. So whatever the things come with the parent things, that is called default thing. So in any kind of your programming language, the programming language actually knows what is the integer, what is the float, what is the character. So those are the default value. Okay, so when you buy a mobile phone, it comes with some application, some apps, that is called default apps, and you are not authorized to delete those default apps. Okay, then we have some mandatory things. Mandatory means must. Without this, we will not able to do anything, and we are not allowed to do anything also. That is why whether the leaf is mandatory or optional, that of things. So if it is mandatory, we have to go through it. If it is optional, you can skip it. Then must. Cross path, X path is called cross path contains, that will be enforced to this leaf. Cross path means if something comes, whether yes or no. So we have two different route, that is called cross path. Then you have type, that is nothing but the data types, and it also have some ranges like 0 to 5 or 1 to 100. It's a range of the leaf. When means it's a conditional statement. When this happen, this will happen. When this is a thing, then happen this thing. If else, those are the conditional statement. Then I have description. I told you description is actually human readable things. So human readable definition and help text for this leaf. A reference. Reference is also a human readable reference to some other element. Units, units. You go to market and ask the shopkeeper to give potato. So whether we ask potato, give one liter of potato, no, you have to ask, give me 1 kg of potato. That means everything should be comes with actual units. So here you can give the frequency as hertz, then speed megabyte per second, then degree Fahrenheit, the flop number of flops per second. Those are called units. Then we must have a status. Status is whether this leaf is current leaf or depreciated leaf or obsolete leaf. That means whether this thing is actually running, that is current version, or depreciate, or it actually gone, everything finished. So this kind of status, these are the all attributes of a leaf. Actually, now question comes, what is a leaf? Okay, so leaf is the collection of particular things. When I teach you some programming, when I show you some example, you can get understand about this leaf. Oh, now it's come with the leaf here. So let me take a young example. Here I will take a toaster which actually toasts the breads, and let consider the manufacturer of toaster will be MIB, and it actually toasts different types of bread like white bread, wheat bread, wonder bread, frozen bread, and all this kind of bread it can be do. And we have some manufacturer name, manufacturer model number, and the status of the toaster, whether it is completed or it is processing. Then it will give the output and input, all those things. So this young module is a young version of the toaster MIB. So, okay, in the right side here you can see this is the programming. So programming may be kind of code the things. Otherwise, it comes with the thread and you just modify the thread. So here the programming will be like thread. So you just click here, then you thread it. You click here, you thread it. You click here, you thread it, and all those things. So you can see now, whenever you open the MATLAB, we go for multi-sim, you go for SimScape, you click here, then it will comes with a machine, power system, power electronics, and click here. Likewise, you can see now. So these are the lists. These are all the list. So the toaster young module, the toaster young module begins with the header information. Here it is called header information. So if you consider this is a header, so this should be the information. If you consider this is a header, this should be the information. Okay, so all these headers actually comes with header informations followed by identity declarations, which define various types of bread. So here the definition says that it's a toaster and at 2019 2009 11 20 the date, and we have some attributes here. We can say toast type, white bread, wheat bread, wonder bread, and all the kind of breads are given, and these are nothing but the identity, and this identity actually declared on the toaster, which is nothing but the module. And this toaster is actually a container. See here the drop down menu, the first, if you take a straight line, no drop down arrow in the below the first one. So inside this toaster everything is listed. That is why toaster is a container node. Okay, and so once you define this identity, then you'll go second leaf node, branch node. This is called toaster, and inside this you have the leaf node, toaster manufacturer, toaster model number, and toaster status. Okay, so these leaf are compulsory. Okay, so these things are optional. So if you want to toast a white bread, if you want to toast a white bread, then you can click the second button. But in the toaster, the manufacturer serial number and status, this is compulsory. Always it has to show. That is why whichever thing or which attribute is always constant for this device, that will be called as the leaf node. Okay, so each leaf definition has a type, and operationally a description and a default value. Okay, this is a so each leaf nodes definition have a type and optionally a description and a leaf value. So you know that this toaster manufacturer, all new things, it have a type, but optional, if you give a human readable interface, then optionally you can give a description. The module has two RCP definition, that is the make the toast and cancel the toast. Okay, so these are the two things. Here you can see that the attribute called make the toast here. If you make the toast, then you have an input and the output. Okay, so output will give the things, and in input what you have to do, toaster done. So the thickness or constraint of the toaster and the type of toast you have to given. Then if you cancel the toast, then you give cancel input, it will give the output, the bread comes out without doing the toast. Then after that you have a declaration called toast done, and it show the status of the toast. So this is all about the toaster example of Yang module. So for this class we have studied some details about the Yang. Why we are using Yang? You know that Yang is actually data modeling language. So whatever you write in this language, that can be converted into other format. Okay, that is a basic way. For example, let me take a board, microcontroller board A, and another microcontroller board B. But A supports Yang language, but B do not support Yang language. B support XML file. Okay, what happened if the person know Yang language? Then once you write the Yang code, then Yang code can be converted into XML code. Okay, so then that is the beauty of this Yang. So once you write the Yang code, that can be executed in the board A and converted to XML file and can be used in board B. That is the beauty of Yang language or Yang programming language. So for this video, this is enough for this video. Thank you so much.